Everyone noticed her before they knew her name. In traffic, drivers slowed down. At parties, conversations paused. On social media, screenshots flew faster than gossip. Her name was Sierra Blaze, but nobody called her that anymore. They called her BBL Lady. Not because she asked for the title, but because the world gave it to her the moment she stepped off that plane from Turkey with a body that didn't whisper, it announced. Sierra had grown up invisible. Flat-chested, slim-hipped, quiet Sierra. The girl teachers forgot to mark present. The girl boys called nice instead of fine. She remembered standing in front of the mirror at 21, poking at her reflection and asking herself the same question over and over. Is this really all I am? By 25, she had saved enough money from 3 jobs, sleepless nights, and a loan she didn't tell her mother about. By 26, she had curves the internet would fight over. And by 27, she had attention she didn't know how to survive. The rise. The first video went viral by accident. She wore a simple dress, nothing scandalous. She just turned around, smiled, and walked away. That was it. No dance, no caption, no effort. 3 million views in 2 days. Men flooded her DMs like she was a prize. Women followed her like she was a blueprint. Brands reached out, nightclubs offered free bottles, influencers wanted collaborations. For the first time in her life, Sierra didn't have to beg for space. The world made room for her. She moved into a luxury apartment with floor-to-ceiling mirrors. Everywhere she turned, she saw the body that changed her life. At first, she felt powerful. Then, she started to feel watched. The price of desire. People stopped asking her real questions. No one asked what she read. No one asked what scared her. No one asked who she was before the curves. They asked, is it real? How much did it cost? Can I touch? At events, men stared openly, like she wasn't human. Women smiled with their mouths, but not their eyes. Online, strangers debated her body like it belonged to them. She's fake. She's goals. She's ruined herself. I'd still smash. Sierra learned something brutal. When your body becomes the headline, your soul becomes the footnote. She laughed it off publicly, but privately, she stopped sleeping. The man who saw her. His name was Eli. He didn't slide into her DMs with fire emojis. He commented on a book she posted once. That author saved my life too. They talked, not flirting, talking. Eli didn't rush to meet her, didn't ask for pictures, didn't brag about knowing her. When they finally sat across from each other at a cafe, he didn't stare. That alone made her nervous. You know, she said halfway through her coffee, most men don't look me in the eyes. Eli smiled softly. Most men are afraid of women they don't understand. She fell for him slowly and safely, or so she thought. The bet. What Sierra didn't know was that attention follows her like a shadow, and shadows hear things. One night, at a rooftop party, laughter cut through the music. A man's voice said, I give it 2 weeks before Eli hits. Nobody dates that without trying. Another replied, Bro, if he doesn't, he's lying. Sierra stood frozen behind a wall, champagne trembling in her hand. Her chest burned. Later that night, she asked Eli directly, Why are you with me? He paused, just long enough. I like you, he said carefully, and yeah, I'm not blind. The answer felt incomplete. Doubt planted itself quietly and grew fast. The fall. The internet turned overnight. A leaked photo, unfiltered, unposed. A rumor she paid men to date her. A TikTok dissecting her body frame by frame. Sponsors pulled out. Brand alignment issues, they said. People who once praised her now mocked her. See, that's why you don't buy confidence. BBL won't save you forever. Sierra stopped posting, stopped going out, stopped recognizing herself. She stared at her reflection one night and whispered, "Did I do all this just to be alone?" The moment that broke her. It happened in a grocery store. No makeup, hoodie pulled low, just Sierra. A little girl tugged her mother's arm and whispered loudly, "Mommy, that's the lady from the internet. Is she real?" The mother laughed awkwardly. "Don't stare." But the damage was done. Sierra rushed to her car and cried so hard she scared herself. For the first time since surgery, she wished she could take it all back. Not the body, but the cost. The truth. She confronted Eli. "Did you ever date me because of my body?" Silence. Then honesty, heavy and late. "At first, I was curious," he admitted, "but I stayed because I cared." Sierra nodded slowly. "Curiosity feels a lot like objectification when you're the one being looked at." He reached for her hand. She pulled away. Some love arrives too late. The rebuild. Sierra disappeared for 6 months. No posts, no explanations. When she returned, the first video wasn't glamorous. She sat barefaced on her floor. "I'm more than a procedure," she said, "but I won't pretend it didn't change my life." She talked about loneliness, about being desired but not known, about confidence built on attention, and how fast it collapses. The internet listened. Not everyone, but enough. Women shared their stories. Men apologized. Girls said, "Thank you for saying this." Sierra didn't lose her curves. She gained her voice. The woman beyond the body. Today, people still stare, but now Sierra controls the narrative. She writes, she speaks, she mentors young women before they make permanent decisions for temporary validation. And when someone calls her BBL lady, she smiles calmly and says, "That's part of my story, not the whole book." Because the most dangerous thing about being desired is forgetting that you are human first.